Hello, gremlins. It is I, Axel, the potato. I know. Another YouTube video? This is like 5 weeks in a row now. I'm doing great. My goal is to get like a video every week, but like that can't always happen. So you're getting this video this week. Today I'm just gonna be talking about animatronics, bro. Cause gotta feed the algorithm. Pumping coal, pumping iron, bro. But yeah. So I'm just gonna start talking about. So basically, like as a kid, I want to say I was like 10 maybe, started watching these videos on YouTube of like animatronics and like animatronic malfunctions and failures. And that led me to getting really interested in like everything about animatronics that you could possibly find on the internet. So, well, then it led me to like getting to know different animatronics and like how they work and how they're created. So I'm just gonna talk about some of my top favorite animatronics. Because they could be either really cool, have an interesting story behind them, all of that. So, my number one favorite animatronic is definitely the Yeti in Expedition Everest. He is insane. He is massive. He's, I believe, 4 tons heavy is his weight. Maybe more than that. I want to say he's 9 feet tall. Let me Google this real quick. He is 25 feet tall, actually. He is held in place by 1,000 snaps and 250 zippers. He is massive. He used to reach down, and it would look like he is reaching towards the car that you're riding in on the roller coaster. But due to structural issues, they had to turn him off because every time he was shaking himself and like trying to reach towards the car, he ended up shaking the foundation of the building and it was causing cracks in the building. So if they continued to allow him to like move as he was, it would cause failure in the building, which the building is a giant mountain. He is my number one favorite animatronic, and I had the pleasure of being able to see him in real life in January of 2022, I believe. Yes. It's 2022. That's insane. But I got to see him in January of 2022, and he was breathtaking. Like, I was already excited to see him from my previous research and my previous love of him. And then just seeing him in person was perfect. It was awing. Like, I was just standing there, or I was sitting there, staring at him, watching as just this massive being was in front of me. And it's something that I had always, like, wanted to see. Hold up, I need to cough. And it was something that I'd always wanted to see. And, like, it was just so amazing for me to finally see something that I'd looked up to for so long since I was really little. So just it was an amazing like experience to get to finally see it. Some of my other favorite animatronics. Here's another one at Walt Disney World. That previous one was Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom, by the way. This one is also at Walt Disney World. It's on the Navi River cruise, I believe is the name of it. I'm going off of memory for this video. Sorry about that. But it's on the Navi River journey, I think is the name. And it is one of the Avatar characters sitting cross-legged as her arms and her tail is moving, and those motions and the joints are so gorgeously fluid. Like it looks genuinely like a real being. It's completely the opposite of what you'd expect from an animatronic. Because when you think of animatronics, I know my community is mainly internet people, so they probably think Five Nights at Freddy's. Or like clunky animatronics like that, where they're like all glitchy and jerky. And like Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics are supposed to be that way. But this one is just breathtakingly beautiful. That entire ride is honestly James Cameron himself, the director of Avatar, actually helped work on that ride and helped make sure that it was to his standards and that it was perfect. And it was just so gorgeous because I'd recently seen the Avatar movie right before I went to Disney World, and that one's also in Animal Kingdom, by the way. And it's just so utterly insane to see something from the TV screen appear in real life in such a high definition way that you can be easily tricked into seeing it as a real being. Um, my next one that I want to chat about, it's on a ride that no longer exists. There's actually a few that I really like that are on a ride that no longer exists. This one isn't necessarily like a cool, awe-inspiring animatronic, or honestly much of an animatronic at all. But I am talking about the Splash Mountain Brer Rabbit. See, this one, he jumps across the, area near your boat, and then the animatronic goes under, the track, and then pops back up and, as a loop. He is known as the $1 million animatronic due to the fact that he broke down so much that it has cost Disney over $1 million in repair fees for a really small, simple animatronic that otherwise you really wouldn't notice. And most of the time, that animatronic was also broken down, even though Brer Rabbit is an essential part of that story. Adding on to that, the entirety of Splash Mountain, it was taken down because of the original work being extremely racist. But also, that entire ride, you have seen it break down more often than not. It was at Disney World and Disneyland are the two places that I've seen it. I've only been to those two parks, or those two Disney parks, I guess. Even though there's multiple parks within each of those parks, it's very complicated. But both of those had animatronics that were broken down almost every time I went on that ride. No matter what, you'd often see them, minute things that would need to be fixed that caused major issues. Another animatronic I love is in Frozen Ever After Disney World. Elsa will go out singing walks out singing Let It Go. And then you, go backwards on the boat ride and go out. So, basically, she, it actually looks like she's walking. Her arm movements are so fluid. Everything on her is so gorgeous. The one complaint I do have about that ride is all of the animatronics' faces are projected onto them. So it makes it quite terrifying, but also gorgeous at the same time. Should we be showing kids this, but also it's really cool looking? But it's a really interestingly created animatronic, and I was very glad that I got to see it, because I almost didn't go on the ride because it was it's Frozen, it's a kiddie ride, but I am so glad because we had purchased the fast pass, so we were allowed to still use it on all the rides. So I just bought the fast pass for that ride. Sure, why not? Let's try it out. And then I got to see her, and it just made it oh yeah, this was definitely worth it. All of the animatronics on that one are very cool, including their Olaf one, which they created a great style for, a very inhuman character to give it humanoid features. Another set of animatronics I like, the entirety of the Jurassic World ride in Universal Studios Hollywood has amazing animatronics. They recently went through refurbishment. I say recently, it was probably 2-3 years ago. But their refurbishment, it took an already great and timeless ride and made it even better. The animatronics on there are absolutely gorgeous. towards the end of the run with the animatronics, you could tell that they in fact needed a bit of refurbishment. But when they took them in for refurbishment, they made them absolutely stunning and flawless all over again. The smoothness of all of their motions was quite amazing to me. On the other end of the spectrum, we're going to be talking about the worst dinosaur ride I have ever been on. It was Walt Disney World, Florida. And there's like just a dinosaur ride. I don't even know the name of it at this point. But it's like Indiana Jones in Disney World Disneyland in California. Except if you took away the speed, the plot, and the joy, it is just that bad. Oh, and like any working animatronics too. Like it is that really bad. Like I went on the ride going, "Oh, okay, it's a dinosaur kids ride. Probably be cute." Like Jurassic Park with no water, you know? Oh, was I wrong? The animatronics on that ride are so clunky, and it's not quite dark enough in that ride for you to actually be scared. It's just very strange, I guess. I might throw up a picture on the screen of like a drawn over photo of like me and my family on the ride and like our reactions to it, because I have the like ride photo from that ride so I could like recreate it just to show you how confused my entire family was at whatever that was. I really don't know what it was. Like, still to this day, it's been about 6 months later, and I still go, what was that? Was that really an actual ride? Or was that just a weird fever dream? Universal Studios in Florida. They had some gorgeous. If you've never seen the Harry Potter series, there is a three-headed dog named Fluffy. Fluffy is the guard for a secret chamber. They have an animatronic of Fluffy that is just, it is massive and terrifying yet gorgeous at the same time. Like, speaking of breathtaking animatronics, that animatronic I was not expecting because I hadn't done research on it prior to my trip there because it was fairly new and I did not want to spoil the storyline of that ride for myself. So I went and I saw it and just shock. Pure and utter shock at how amazing it is. Couple more animatronics. We're gonna talk a lot about in Universal's Islands of Adventure Park, I believe is the name for their roller coaster park. It's connected to Universal Studios. But thing is, it has some like a kids area. The rides in the kids area are terrifying. Oh, like they have a Thing 1, Thing 2 Dr. Seuss ride. Bro, it would give a kid nightmares. It gave me nightmares. I would wake up in a cold sweat and be like, the things, they're after me. Oh no! Cause it was just that, it was in need of a refurbishment, is how to say it politely. Like, really, really butter it up polite. Another one that needed refurbishment there that I thought was just really cool is they have an E.T. ride. They used to have it in Universal Hollywood. It was replaced by Revenge of the Mummy, the ride, which is a really fun ride. But the E.T. ride needs some love. Like, it's a really cool ride because my parents went on it as kids. My dad used to work at Universal Studios Hollywood, so he was really familiar with that ride. So they were super excited to take me on it, and it was a great time while I was on it. But also, like, all of their faces, all of them really threw me off of what is this? Like, I got the gist of the plot, and it was really cool that you rode on the bikes, on like an ET bike with the like ET in the basket of the car. And like his hand lit up like when like you saw the moon, I think. And it's a really great idea. Just a refurbishment would give it so much more love and make it so much better. Oh, an animatronic I absolutely love and adore. Bro, I adore this dude. I adore Hatbox Ghost from what was it? Disney World on the Haunted Mansion there. I adore him, bro. When I went to Disney World, unfortunately, he was not in the ride, he was under refurbishment. But I wish that I got to see him just because of the engineering marvels behind him and how long it took for them to finally figure out how to create the Hatbox Ghost trick properly. And the fact that he had to go from like multiple different parks until they could finally find the right lighting for him. It was just utterly insane of how cool it was knowing all of the story behind him. Like all of the Haunted Mansion I love. Also, like Figment does not get enough love. Journey to Imagination with Figment is their most recent installment of the Figment like ride series. I say series because there have been many like installations of Figment the Dragon in not Universal, in Disney World, Florida, in Epcot. Figment is their little mascot for like everything there. Include also there's like a Florida orange bird that's also a mascot that I really don't get, but good for them. But Figment is a happy little dragon, honestly just bouncing around and having a good time. He also has a great song. His animatronics are really great, especially for like a ride that they keep refurbishing and reusing in multiple different ways. Like you would expect it to be a little bit more run down just from the amount of times that they've changed it and reused different props and like completely scrapped different props. You would think that they were like, okay, we're done with you now. But he is still amazing, and they also dress him up in like a little sweater around Christmas time or like holiday season. And it's absolutely adorable just seeing him bouncing around and singing in like his normal outfit, but also like a holiday sweater, because it's like one of the sciencey symbols on his sweater too. And I'm not saying sciencey symbol as a real symbol, as like one of the symbols in the building in the ride. I have a lot more to talk about. That can be in another video if I need an extra filler video. So enjoy your background content of some game or another. And I will see you all next time. Have a good day, night, whatever time's for you. Go drink water, go eat food, do whatever you need to do to take care of you. And bye-bye. Also, like and subscribe would be nice. If you want to, be totally cool. Bye-bye.